Designed for the French National Navy by Dassault-Breguet, the Super Etendard was from the Etendard aircraft series that will already have their own video, but they had started to fly at the end of the 50s. The Super Etendard had its first flight in October of 1974, entering service 4 years later with the French Navy, which decommissioned them in 2016. They served in conflicts including Kosovo, Afghanistan, and the military intervention in Libya. They were also used by Iraq in the Persian Gulf and in Argentina, where they were deployed during the Falklands conflict in 1982, which, along with the Exocet missile, led to the plane gaining considerable popular recognition. Welcome to a new video from the world of aviation's Aeropedia. The origin of the Super Etendard dates back to the 70s, when the initial Etendard 4 was going to be replaced by the naval version of the Zipica Jaguar, the Jaguar M. Let's remember that this latter aircraft was a ground attack aircraft of joint design and manufacture between the French and the British. However, the naval version was stalled due to political problems and difficulties during the test deployments on aircraft carriers. In 1973, the development of the Jaguar M was cancelled by the French government. To replace the gap left by abandoning this development, they considered acquiring the Douglas A4 Skyhawk and the A7 Corsair II, but Dassault Aviation also had its own proposal to meet the requirement. And this was an improved version of the already existing Etendard 4M, equipped with a more powerful engine, new wings, and improved avionics. The same year the Jaguar M was cancelled, the French National Navy accepted the proposal and began manufacturing a series of 3 prototypes that were quickly assembled. The first of these made its first flight on October 28, 1974. The original intention of the French National Navy was to order a total of 100 aircraft, but due to budget cuts, 71 units ended up being manufactured. This factory produced the aircraft at an approximate rate of 2 per month. Dassault began making its first deliveries in June 1978, entering service with the French National Navy. It is a single-seat fighter-bomber aircraft with a single-engine design and large wings extended under the central fuselage. It had a maximum takeoff weight of 12 tons and could operate within a radius of 850 kilometers with the internal fuel tanks. Its maximum speed was 1,100 kilometers per hour, and it had 5 attachment points to carry up to 2,100 kilograms of weaponry. As internal armament, it had 2 30mm DEFA cannons with 125 rounds per weapon. Even the possibility of carrying an air sol moyen portée nuclear missile, like the ones carried by the Mirage 4, was tested. 4. Thank you. The vertical rudder is large and extends over the fuselage of the ship to maintain stability during takeoffs and landings and at low altitude flight, where it is necessary to have large control surfaces, ailerons and flaps to better control the ship. The air intake nozzles to the engine have a new aerodynamic design compared to the Etendard 4 and are advanced almost to the cockpit, in a way similar to the design of the A4 Skyhawk. The front landing gear is tall and reinforced to assist in takeoffs from the short runways of an aircraft carrier. It is equipped with a braking hook to intercept the cables on the deck of the aircraft carrier and reinforced points under the central fuselage of the ship to hook a cable with the aircraft carrier's catapult, and allows takeoff in a way similar to the cable installed in the F-4 Phantom II heavy fighter. In other words, these two planes did not have a launch bar and a steam catapult. It is also equipped with a braking parachute to be able to land on short runways on land. It is equipped with an external basket-type fuel probe and flexible hose for in-flight refueling. It is installed on the front radome of the ship, which retracts in front of the pilot's cabin. Placed in this position, it greatly facilitates in-flight refueling operations. In the 80s, the French National Navy began to subject the Super Étendards to a continuous modernization process of radar, navigation and attack system, and improve the ergonomics of all the elements of the cabin. This renovation has meant its adaptation to different standards, such as the 1997 Standard 3, which could provide a laser designator, and from here they began to be called Super Étendard Modernisé. The year 2000 Standard 4 had a new autopilot, night attack capability with renewed Damocles laser information pod, and the Standard 5 with global positioning system guidance system integration. The difference between the Modernisé and its original version was fundamentally in the electronics. The engine and the cells are practically the same. The monopulse Thomson CFS radar of the original Super Étendard had been replaced by an improved version called Anemone, making this version an extremely valid attack platform. This new Anemone radar is a multi-mode digital processor radar and has a range of 100 kilometers for air targets and 200 kilometers for naval targets, and an increased resistance to electronic countermeasures, among other improvements. Among the modifications, we find a new radar warning receiver, a PSN-90 computer associated with an inertial navigation system, new ultra-high-definition decoy launchers, new communication equipment, and night vision systems. The modernized Standard 3 was tested in NATO operations in the Yugoslav War in 1999, taking part in about 400 successful ground attack missions. It also participated in Operation Enduring Freedom in the Afghanistan war, dropping laser-guided bombs, as well as in Libya in 2011 in Operation Dawn Odyssey, all of them operating from the aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle. It was expected that all Super Etendard modern IC aircraft would be phased out of service in the year 2010, being progressively replaced from the year 2006 by the more powerful Dassault Rafale M. But finally the SEM, or the Super Etendard Modernis, were decommissioned on July 12, 2016 in the French Air Force. French. The Argentine Navy had acquired 14 Super Etendard in 1980, receiving the first 5 at the end of 81 each, with a SOSET AM-39 anti-ship missile. And this was after the United States denied the possibility of replacing their A-4 Skyhawk and being able to continue operations from the Argentine Navy 25 of May aircraft carrier. The only 5 devices that had been had until then were used in the Falklands War. One of these had been cannibalized to repair the other 4. In 1982, Argentina became the first country to use this aircraft and Exocet missiles in combat. At the start of the war, Argentine pilots in France had only received 40 to 45 hours of flight time in this type of aircraft. The 5 AM-39 Exocet missiles were used during the conflict. Even though French technicians had never integrated these missiles into the aircraft due to pressures from the United Kingdom on France for diplomatic reasons from NATO countries, Argentine technicians had to decipher and decode on their own, achieving successful operation. After the war, the remaining 9 units were received in Argentina, completing the 14 aircraft ordered. Finally, in September 2017, the purchase of 5 standard 5 Super Étendard modernisés along with 10 engines as well as spare parts to put the 2nd Attack Fighter Squadron back into service in Argentina was confirmed. But to this day, when I make this video, they have not yet flown. Iraq also operated this aircraft for a very short period when France loaned them only 5 units during the Iran-Iraq War in '83, while the arrival of the new supersonic Mirage F-1 houses that had been requested was pending. One of them was shot down by an Iranian F-4 Phantom II, so only 4 were returned to France. Until a new video, my name is Marcos, and this is the World of Aviation's Aeropedia. Thank you.